Hi, I'm Leah. This is Leela, my personal diary of building a life and a business with AI. I'm a somatic guide, designer, software engineer, and AI systems architect. Weird combo, I know. And that's kind of the point. Some weeks I talk about the nervous system, some weeks I talk about AI and tech, some weeks I talk about co-parenting and what that's like. There's no playbook for any of this, and so I won't pretend that there is. I'm just here talking, being me, figuring it out, and you can follow along. If it helps you stay in your own zone of genius, even better. Okay, let's go to the episode. Today, this episode is coming to you from sitting inside my car. I've actually realized it's just fun to sit in my car. We're parked, by the way, and just jam about my week. And I mean, this episode is definitely going to be, AI is a big component. I mean, that's really what I live and breathe. And so, mostly we're going to be talking about how women build differently using AI. And anyway, I'll dive into that in a minute, but I really enjoyed the meditation that I created last week. And I've even had my son listen to it because we meditate together every night. And we used to listen to a podcast called Kids Meditation, where this 6-year-old Audrey would, lead a meditation, and it got taken down off of Apple Podcasts. And so now my son and I are trying to find new things, and it turns out he really likes my meditations. So at his request, I might be creating a lot more of them that he can listen to at night with me. And he's been falling asleep holding my hand while he listens, and he's like, "Mom, these are really good." So, and I've actually gotten feedback from quite a bit of you that listened to the meditation last week. I was really I created it for me because I was feeling overstimulated, and I don't know, life I think is more overstimulating than ever because we can see into everybody else's lives, and then we end up comparing each other, whether it's something that we are creating, whether it's how other people are living their life. And everybody always feels like they're behind, and myself included. And so it's a theme that I will probably be talking about quite a bit. And it's very alive for me, even though I know that I know how to move through the overstimulation, but I still deal with it often. So take a listen to last week's if you would like. I always would love feedback, always would love reviews. I've never asked for a review before, but as this podcast is brand new, I would love for people that are looking for me to be able to find me. So leave a review if you feel like it. Okay, so I was in this AI mastermind call, and for the first three, I was doing a lot of the teaching. And while it was really, really fun to hear how all the other women were building, there wasn't anyone there that could teach me. And they were asking me to link them to the people that I've learned from. And most of them are men. And I'm absolutely fine sharing because I've learned a lot from them. But there was one woman on this call that had built something that I haven't built yet. This previous Tuesday. And I learned more in that hour listening to her than I had from hundreds of hours of YouTube videos and, I don't know, tutorials, because the way she built was very similar to me. Women are intense multitaskers. Most of us are carrying an empathy load that nobody ever wants to put on an org chart. Most women I know are working 20 to 30 hours a week, not 40 plus, mostly the moms, I guess. And And at any point, my 20 hours a week can get changed. Even now, like my son is kind of sick, but he's at school and he's not contagious, so I sent him anyway. But I could get a call and have to just go home and be a mom. Yesterday he didn't have school, so I had to go home and be a mom and figure out how to still pitch to a new client and all of that and manage all of it. And so the system needs to be able to work without you. That's what this woman learned. That's what I've learned. So the system can't just make you faster. It has to run without you, because you are not always going to be there to run it. And that's a different instinct than the one that built this last era of business. Before AI, the winning move was knowing how to hire right, promote from within, the kind of structure that books like Good to Great made famous. Now there's a new version of that same instinct: empathy, creativity, and a working knowledge of what life actually demands, aimed at systems instead of headcount. I think that's what's so fun for me, because I've been somebody that has had quite a bit of ambition since a very, very early age. And I've always read books and learned from really smart people, and somehow been thrown into business situations that I had no experience in, and figured it out along the way, and read a whole lot of books like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Good to Great, How to Make Friends and Win People, something like that. I forget who that one's by. But a lot of those principles, while times have changed, the technology has completely changed, the principles behind how good businesses were run are the same. But now it's just, how do we reframe it for this new era? And it's the systems level. AI doesn't fix a business. It amplifies whatever is true about how it already runs. So I have been noticing that there's quite a bit of research, and I might have referenced this last time, but I wanted to actually pull it. So MIT did something called Project Nanda, and they found that 95% of generative AI pilots inside of companies showed no measurable return, despite the 30 to 40 billion in enterprise spend. And their word for it was a learning gap. And I wrote an article that I will link to that has all of this written out. There's also a PwC study, as well as a McKinsey and startup genome study. Basically, four very well-respected researchers got very similar results, that basically this is systems that are broken and we throw AI and more tools at it aren't going to fix themselves. It takes somebody fixing the systems themselves first. And so when I talk about like men and women building differently, sometimes as a woman who doesn't have the same amount of time in a week, same amount of focus, same amount of support and pay, anything like that, I can feel a little bit like I can feel like it's, oh, poor me, or treat it as this unfair thing. And one thing that I've had to deal with many times is there's been many challenges in my life that have made it really hard to work, is that if I now can learn to run my business in 20 hours a week, and the work that needs to get done each week has to get done in that time chunk. It's time boxed, and it gets more and more and more efficient. So I'm seeing it now as this challenge, and it's kind of fun because like now I actually have a solid amount of clients that I've been able to produce amazing results for. And it's like things are starting to move forward, where I'm realizing there's a lot of people out there that I can help. I don't have that much time to do it, but I do know that I'm getting better and better and better at this every time, because I'm starting to I don't know, build my experience of my portfolio. But now it's starting to feel kind of fun, because once I do have more time, or the weeks that I do end up somehow getting 40 hours to work, I get to use that to create and to do something that I haven't had time to do. Like this weekend, I'm hoping I get to redesign my website pretty quickly, because Fable can really do some mind-blowing things. And like the woman in this AI mastermind was telling everybody, and it's something that I've said, but I don't know. I don't know that the average person is there yet where they can rebuild software on their own that they use day to day. So she had rebuilt Zoom into her mobile app. And I had been trying to rebuild Whisperflow on my own. And so it was really great for me to see, okay, this woman has done this. It's not just some tech bro telling me that, oh, you can build this. And now I think I might try that on my own, to see if I can figure that out. I'm actually talking to her next week, so I'll probably pick her brain about it. And I guess to bring this back into like me as a real person, not just this AI nerd. So David Bayer is somebody that I highly respect, kind of in the personal growth, personal development, entrepreneurial realm. And he talks about how oftentimes our deepest trauma, our biggest limitation, this thing that we feel like keeps coming back to bite us in the butt, can feel like a limitation. But actually, if you lean into it, it can become your superpower. So for me, the thing that traumatized me primarily in my life was being controlled. And so what is the opposite of that? What is the thing that drives me in life? It is freedom. I want to have freedom to be able to work how I want to work. I want to have freedom to be able to parent in the way that I think is the best way possible. I want to have freedom to be able to create whatever it is that my heart desires, and also do it in a way that is productive, that adds value to the world, and also supports me. Hopefully helps me really thrive someday. And I think it will. I just got to be patient. And so that's my superpower. I am able to go in to a women's business that she runs, and she is the center of all of her systems, and she doesn't want to have to be the center anymore because she needs it to run without her, and be able to build that system to give her the freedom that she wants and make the system run without her. So anyway, that's what I have been jamming on lately. I hope that this makes sense. And I hope it's not just like, I don't know, I want this to be truly helpful. So if there's ever something that you're just like, oh, I'd love to pick Leah's brain about this, let me know. I'm always down to chat. And I truly do want my business and my work to be something that makes the world a better place, that empowers more women to be able to run their businesses, or even just to create. So anyway, may something align effortlessly for you today. That's it for this week. Everything I make lives at leela.co. Somatic journeys, AI guides, and whatever it is that I'm working on. If one of those is what you need, come find me. And if not, come back next week. Talk soon.